Hello guys, welcome back. Today we are going to start about our session number 1, which is about the introduction to IT fundamentals, and we'll discuss further about the fundamental concepts of programming, and then we will see how we will be using the Python, what are the reasons that why we are choosing the Python, and the other related things. I hope you will be enjoying the session. So our agenda is that we are focusing to understand first about the introduction to IT. After that, we will be discussing about the fundamental programming concepts, that how and what these fundamental programming concepts are. Then we will be discussing about the IDE, which is known as Integrated Development Environment, which is normally a tool for writing the codes for the programs. So we'll see that how it is important for any of the programming and which IDE or IDLE we are going to choose for our this module. Then we will be discussing about the basic programming concepts using about the Python, that why we are going for that, and then later on we will be discussing about the reading task, hands-on practical, and how we will be able to complete this and to approach to the next level. So be with me, be active, and be focused as you can get the right things. Thank you very much. So here we go. First of all, we are supposed to understand that what is information technology. It's a very important concept. So information technology is mainly simply can be identified as either it's a software or a hardware which can be able to do the task related like capturing, processing, storing the data, exchange information. So if these type of the processes, if they are being done through the software or utilizing the hardware, then we can consider that this is actually the information technology. And in information technology, the data is important, and the data, all of the operations we are doing with the data, either for capturing, either for processing, either for storing, and the rest of the operations. So with the data, could be of any type. Data could be a sound, data could be a movie, data could be a clip, data could be a text, data could be any type. Okay, so this is all about the information technology. Now we need to understand about the concept for the fundamental of programming. So what is the fundamental of programming? So the programming is actually that when we are there to understand the problem statement, the given scenario that what it requires actually, then we need to analyze that. Okay, and after analyzing the situation, we can come up with the possible solutions. So for that, we use the different phases and we do apply the algorithms. So when we understand them, when we come up with developing the algorithms, then we start writing the codes about that. And when we are done with that, then finally we can go to verify it, to test it, that either it is working fine or not. So this is actually the main concept about programming, fundamental programming. So this is what actually we are doing for the fundamental programming. I do repeat that whenever we have any issue or problem, we need to understand it, we need to identify it, we need to analyze the situation as we can develop a scenario, and then we can apply the different phases or the different sort of the algorithms to try to solve this, to resolve this, and then we started coding, and then finally we can go for the testing and validation and verification purposes to complete the task. Now the question is how we are doing this. For this, for any sort of the programming, we always need IDE. IDE is actually a software, actually a tool that is actually required where we can write the codes, we can run the programs to test our program to see its capability and to see that either it's working right, fine or not. So now we have several IDEs. IDE is actually stand for Integrated Development Environments. Now, if suppose we are going for the Visual Studio, which is normally we are using for the .NET, if suppose we are looking for a .NET, we will go for the Visual Studio. If we are going for the Java programming, so probably we will be looking for the IDE, which is known as the NetBeans. And in the same fashion, there are several different IDEs. And now when we come we focus about the Python, again, there are several different IDEs are there. But for this, our module, we will be discussing about the VSR, the Visual Studio Code IDLE for Python. Okay, and the rest of the other IDEs are also there. We can be able to use the others as well. But here we will be focusing about VS Code IDE for Python. Now the point is that for fundamental programming concept, why we are going to use Python? Why not we are going to something else? Why this is means more important, our consideration for this one. So Python has a very high range of libraries, very high range of support to the users. It can provide the graphical user interface, it can provide the visualizations, it can provide the analysis, it can support to the natural language processing, it can support to the image processing, it can support even many more things. And its syntax is very powerful and its syntax is very high level. And it has a great support with the different APIs. It can integrate with the existing systems as well. This is the reason that why we are choosing the Python for our fundamental programming. And we will be using the different languages as well, but Python is the major component where we are focusing more. Now, while we are using the Python, so we know, as what we discussed, that Python allows about the GUI. For the GUI, the graphical user interfaces, it provides us a support to the web services, different sort of the web services where we can integrate them easily. It provides us support for web applications as well. At the same time, it provides the support for mobile applications as well. So it means independently can work for the cross-platform environment as well. It provides the support for the testing, data analysis, and many more options. This is the reason that we are going for the Python. And that is the reason the Python is very popular and in high demand, because it provides a great support in all terms, like what we had discussed right now. Now, this is all about today's lecture, where we discuss about what is the information technology, what is the fundamental programming concepts, and what is the IDE. Then we discuss about what IDE or what programming language we are going to choose. So we talk about the Python, and then we discuss that why we need a Python, and then we have now the additional reading material. So the additional reading material, comes as a tutorial for you, so you can see you can find out this material, that how to configure the Python. So you can find out the step-by-step guideline at your times. So please just try to access your times and you can go through with this. It will help you to configure the Python. At the same time, it will provide you the further information and other tutorial about the Visual Studio, that how you can configure Visual Studio and what are the commands, how you will be able to use. At the same time, the detailed slides are also available at the times for your reading purpose. You can go through with it. And last but not least, you can find the fundamental programming concepts related to the Python video, which will help you to further understand these tutorials and these slides and what we had discussed right now. And that will make you enable to go for the hands-on further practices as well, to try at your own. So for that hands-on exercise, you are supposed to follow the previous steps, what we have discussed in the previous slide. Then you can explore the further concepts as we can be ready for the next session. So thank you very much for today and hope to see you soon in the next session. Thank you and goodbye.